You are a part-time electrical engineer, and someone called you to come to their address. You were skeptical to accept it first, because it's an hour drive from home, but they are paying you $200 an hour, just for the day, so you accepted it and placed the address on your car's GPS. You drove along the highway listening to some music to keep yourself awake. It was already dark and you wondered why they needed your service so late. As you approached the destination, you noticed that the GPS was leading you to a remote area, away from the city lights. You felt a bit uneasy, but you shrugged it off and followed the directions. You turned into a dirt road that seemed to go on forever. You saw no signs of civilization, only trees and bushes on both sides. You checked your phone, but there was no signal. You hoped that you didn't make a wrong turn. Finally, you saw a large, old-fashioned mansion looming in the distance. It looked like something out of a horror movie with its dark windows and decaying walls. You parked your car in front of the gate and got out. You looked for a doorbell or a buzzer, but there was none. You tried to call the number that hired you, but there was still no signal. You decided to knock on the gate and see if anyone was home. You walked up to the gate and banged on it with your fist. You heard a loud echo, but no response. You knocked again, louder this time. Still nothing. You wondered if you should just leave and forget about the whole thing. But then you remembered the money they promised you and decided to give it one more try. You pushed the gate with your hand and, to your surprise, it opened with a creak. You stepped inside and walked towards the mansion. You hoped that someone would come out and greet you, but no one did. You reached the front door of the mansion and knocked on it. You heard a faint voice from inside saying, "Come in." You turned the knob and opened the door. You entered a dimly lit hallway with dusty paintings and cobwebs on the walls. You called out, "Hello? I'm the electrical engineer you hired. Where are you?" The voice replied, "I'm in the attic. Follow the stairs up and you'll find me." You looked for the stairs and saw a wooden door at the side of the hallway. You walked towards it and opened it. You saw a steep staircase leading up to the darkness. You felt a chill run down your spine, but you gathered your courage and went up. As you ascended, you smelled something sweet and floral. You heard a music box playing a lullaby. You reached the top of the stairs and saw a small door with a sign that said, "Do not enter." You wondered what was behind it and why they needed your help. You knocked on the door and said, "Hello, I'm here. Can you open the door?" The voice said, Yes, I'm coming. Just a moment." You heard a click, and the door opened. You stepped inside and saw a shocking sight. You saw a girl dressed in a white gown sitting on a rocking chair. She had long black hair and pale skin. She looked at you and said, "Hello, I'm Alice, and you're my new friend." You gasped and backed away. You realized that she was the one who hired you and the one who spoke to you. You asked, "What are you? Who are you?" She said, "I'm a ghost. I've been living here for a long time. I'm lonely. I need someone to play with me." You felt a cold hand grab your ankle. You looked down and saw a boy crawling out from under the bed. He had short blonde hair and blue eyes. He said, "Me too. I'm Tommy, and you're our new toy." You screamed and tried to run away from the ghost children. You ran back to the door and tried to open it, but it was locked. You heard Alice giggle and say, "You can't escape. We're having so much fun." You looked around and saw no other way out. You were trapped in the attic with them. You begged, "Please leave me alone. I don't want to play with you. Let me go." Tommy said, No. You have to stay with us. We're lonely. We need you." You felt a cold breath on your neck. You turned around and saw Alice standing behind you. She smiled and said, "Don't be afraid, we won't hurt you. We just want to show you something." She grabbed your hand and dragged you to the window. She pointed outside and said, "Look, that's where we live. That's where we want you to live with us." You looked out the window and saw a large backyard with a garden and a fountain. But what caught your eye was a row of tombstones with names and dates carved on them. You recognized some of the names as the previous owners of the mansion. You realized that they were all dead. And you saw 2 small tombstones with the names Alice and Tommy on them. You felt a surge of horror and said, No, no, no. I don't want to go there. I don't want to die. Alice said, but you have to. It's the only way. We can't leave this place. We're stuck here, and we want you to be stuck with us. We want you to be our family. She pulled you closer to the window and said, come on, let's go. It's not so bad. You'll see. She opened the window and pushed you out. You fell to the ground, feeling a sharp pain in your chest. You looked up and saw Alice and Tommy floating above you. They smiled and said, welcome to our home. Welcome to our grave.